but in the first place is Lighthouse.
So we're from IBM. We just met, all of us, yesterday. So we work in different departments. We didn't actually know each other before we came.
So this is actually my 6th day at IBM, and I just joined as a placement student, so I'm learning a lot from these guys. We have 3 technical guys, 1 business strategist, and I'm just supporting each of them, helping them with everything.
We've been coming up with loads of ideas for our hackathon. We kicked off with loads of post-its. We had loads of ideas, and to really hone in on what we wanted to build, we used design thinking. So we started off for the first few hours thinking about our personas, the technology we would use, and we went through a series of steps to really get to the idea we've landed with.
Our solution is trying to use technologies and integrate banking APIs with sorts of IoT devices in order to help vulnerable people. So on our back end, we used IBM Bluemix, which is a cloud platform to host all our apps. We use a Bluebank API to do the transactions, and on the front end, we use sorts of Bootstrap and front end things, and also we use the Fitbit to demonstrate the IoT functionality.
It's probably worth saying that we all work for IBM, which is itself a large organisation, has been around for a long time, and one of its big challenges is to try and transform itself into a new and innovative company. So we are all really passionate about these type of events and hackathons, and that's how we came to meet. So yeah, it's a really good starting point for kicking off ideas. Going forward, we're trying to spread the culture throughout our own company, and probably the same with you for RBS. So yeah, it's kind of a cool starting point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a key point. IBM has been going through that transformation. We've been going through it, like yourselves, for many, many years. We've still got a long way to go, but we're, like yourselves, we're doing the exact same things. We're running hackathons, design thinking, ideating, becoming agile. We've built that into our culture. Sure, we've got a long way to go, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess we have to put on a show for these guys to come.
Yeah, exactly, right? It is. Yeah. It's super exciting. It's all live code, as you say. It's real running code, NFC technology, Internet of Things. Our bosses are going to be super proud that they paid our expenses and we've used the IBM technology. So it's job done as far as we're concerned.
So good afternoon, we are Team Lighthouse. So when our team was listening to the briefs on Friday, we were sort of thinking to ourselves, how can we improve the user experience of the customer, but also bring business value to the banks? How can we use technology to really improve the lives of the vulnerable people in the society? We use design thinking to try and come up with an organic solution that we're going to show you today. So I'd like you to meet Agnes and Mary. Agnes is 81 years old. She lives alone and she has early stage dementia. And on the right is Mary, her daughter. So our solution allows Mary to feel confident that she knows that Agnes's accounts are secure, but also it allows Agnes to be flexible and independent with her bank accounts. So for the purposes of our technical demo today, I will be Mary. So I worry about my mom every single day. I worry about the fact that people can mug her on the street, or people can maybe take advantage of her financially. But I also want her to actually go out into the shops and buy things by herself with her own card. So just to go into our demo, could you hold my mic?
Yeah. Do you want to pull that one down?
So my mum goes to the shops every morning and buys a newspaper and some coffee. So in our app, we can go to zoom in here and set a geolocation like this. All you have to do is drag a zone, oops, like so. I'm just going to call that T, and I'm going to put a spending amount in there as £10. Now what this does is that when our system sees that my mum goes into the store herself physically, £10 from my account will go into her account automatically. So now we'll show you a live example about the transactions that's going through.
Can you hold for me? Yeah. So Agnes is going to come into my store. I'm a retailer. Come on, Agnes. So we detect that Agnes has now entered the geolocation of the store by the green banner on the screen. And at this point, the money has been transferred from Mary's account to Agnes's account. So when she goes to buy a tea, simulated here by a contactless debit card and an NFC tag, we get a notification that a payment has been made in the store, and that money has then gone to the retailer. So that's great, because Agnes has the flexibility to buy whatever she wants in store. And when she exits the store, we get a notification, and the remaining money that she did not spend goes back to Mary's account. So how did we build this? Well, this is all live code running in Bluemix. And we use a mobile app here to demonstrate the location aspect, but what we'd really want to do is use a wearable. So you see there, Agnes has got a wearable on, which is measuring her location and possibly her health data as well. So we hooked into the Bluebank API to transfer the money between the accounts. And this could be implemented as a standalone application itself, or running as part of the RBS online banking service. So this gives Agnes the safety that when she goes out of the store, if someone steals her debit card, it doesn't matter because the money is no longer in her account.
Now, Lighthouse helps people like Agnes, but perhaps the real reason why this solution is so powerful is because it is extremely scalable. For example, it can be extended to kids. Take Mary. She can know and guarantee that her daughter goes to the cinema and spends money at the cinema instead of buying cigarettes. In addition, because the combination of technologies that we're using is collecting large amounts of data, using machine learning and cognitive technologies such as Watson, we're able to produce new sets of business intelligence. Next up, another example is small to medium-sized companies in less economically developed countries whereby using the security of only transferring money to the person once they enter the secured zone, you can save money. Exactly. Thank you very much.
So can you tell us why do you move the money in and out of the person's account when they're in the zone? What are you trying to do there?
So that's to protect the security. So for example, say we've got Agnes on the street. She feels vulnerable, right? Because she might be carrying a bank card with a lot of money in the account. So we're ensuring that she can only spend that money, or someone else can only spend that money when she's inside the designated area. So that if she were to get a card stolen when she's outside of the store, it doesn't matter because her money's not going to go, right? Like it comforts her and makes it easy for her. Because she doesn't have to worry about someone stealing her card and her inheritance and money and everything else. So.
Yeah, I guess that was just when she goes back outside the zone, is there the opportunity to actually remove that money for the same reason?
That's exactly right. So what you're seeing happened on the screen was when we exited the store, the money that she didn't spend, so say you'd allocate £20 for boots, for example, well, if she spends £2, then £18 would go back into the carrier's account.
So how do you see the business model contributing back to RBS?
Basically, we think that it can open up much more accounts and disrupt financial services because for example, going back to the situation with less economically developed countries, there's really an issue of fraud and embezzlement where things can be stolen. So small companies can manage their employees by actually marking an area and allowing for the person to only access the money when they're in there and spending it there. And of course it's scalable, so we can make the area much larger or much smaller for that case. And that helps with opening more accounts.
I'll also quickly add that if, for example, a bank out of 5 banks had this feature, I think I would use this. Like if I had kids or if I had an elderly parent, I think I'd want to have that sort of control. So.
I particularly like the wearable device. Did you think about extending the range of uses for that?
Yeah, so for example, the Fitbit provides data on how much steps you take each day. Your calorific intake if you set up your food and things. So you link that in and you kind of get a profile about Agnes's movements. Has she left the house today, for example? Is she kind of getting enough exercise? You could even say, well, okay, so maybe you need to walk a bit more, so why don't we try and go to this shop further on, and then we can restrict the spending to only occur in that shop that's further, so therefore incentivizes activity and well-being.
And is this actually working now, or?
Yeah, this is working. So what you see here is our back end that was processing the API calls. It's currently polling the account balance that you can see going through at the minute. So that's working in IBM Bluemix, the cloud platform, live in real time.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well done. But the top 3 in reverse order. So third goes to Pizza Crunch. Second is Microsavers. And so anybody who hasn't been mentioned so far could be first. But in the first place is Lighthouse. Now, one of the younger team here, Sarah, do you want to come up, Sarah, for a second? Sarah had some suggestions for you, Lighthouse. So she's got some suggestions as to how you can improve your app. Do you want to mention it to them?
You can add a passcode at the front, because the whole idea is to make sure that the person that you're monitoring is safe. But if someone takes the device that you're monitoring them on, they will know where they are, so they won't be safe. And
very good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So you can give out. You wait here with me, and you can give out the prizes. So, can we have the team from Lighthouse?
The hackathon's been amazing. It's nice to see RBS being open and sort of embracing all the sort of agile and design thinking type methodologies. That's very much kind of what we're into, IBM Interactive Experience, and we love it. And it's, you know what, it's about having fun. It's about meeting people, doing a new way of doing things and showing how quickly you can build and design stuff if you just get out of the way and let people do it.
I've been to about 7 hackathons now all around the world, and I want to say that this is the best organized one in terms of accommodation, food, schedule. Like, it's been really, really good.
Yeah, I really liked how you gave us some cool technology in the form of the Bluebank API, but you didn't force us to use it. Like, we ended up using it in our solution, but that was because we chose to, and we had a really good time looking at that.
Yeah, it was really good. I got cornered by your API guys. They were like, "You win the prize for hitting the API the most of the entire place." So yeah, it's really well designed, and it's a nice sandpit that again, it's a safe environment for people to write code against. It's brilliant.
And we also had a great space to work in. I mean, we've been working behind us here. You can see post-its all behind. We've had a big table, and it's just been a really nice environment, and the ability to just dip in, talk to other teams, and meet other people. So it's been really nice, and I think one of the more spacious experiences I've had, at least at a hackathon.
For sure. Definitely. And the food was great. Like, we've all ate well this weekend, so that's the main thing.
What about the whiskey, Dan? What about the whiskey?
Yeah, whiskey's good as well. Welcome to Scotland. Right?
A big thank you and congratulations to Lighthouse. Well done.